podcast talk show.
Good Wednesday afternoon. Hello, this is Eddie McAllister, and I'm here on Tvfurstar. This is our Wednesday podcast day. I'm here with Myra Monarch. We want to say good afternoon to you. I'm definitely glad to have with me today Penelope Rose Yee. Rose and Penelope Yee. I don't know how you said either way.
Rose
Vote for
Penelope Yee.
her. Vote for her. That's who we're here to talk about. I'm so glad to be here with her. I wore my beige colored hat because I know she'd have on her straw hat, her signature straw hat. I didn't think you can go anywhere without her seeing her with this hat on. People should probably recognize you by your hat, Rose.
Sounds good. I've
So,
gotten lots of compliments on it.
oh, wonderful. So, why don't you just take it away and tell us about yourself and then tell us about your race against Doug LaMalfa?
Sure. Well, thank you, Eddie, and thank you, Myra. And thank you to all the listeners who are joining us today. Good Wednesday afternoon to all.
Wednesday, yes.
Yes,
Hump day,
hump day. We're over the hump because it's afternoon.
afternoon.
Yes. So
Yes.
so Rose Penelope Yee. I have two first names, Rose Penelope, last name Yee, and I'm running for Congress in California's first district. So
Mhm.
California's first district encompasses 10 counties, Eddie. So
Lot of
it's nine,
counties.
yes, nine full counties and one half county. And so it's all the way in the south down to Colusa, part of Yuba County,
Yeah.
Sutter County, and then you go all the way up north to the Oregon border, and that's the extent, the geographic spread of the county of the district that we're in, California District
Oh my
1.
goodness. You're
Yes.
you're gonna need two of you to cover that county.
Oh, not just two, probably three, four, five.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm very lucky. I have my campaign manager, Ricky Samayoa, who's based in Marysville, who's
Uh,
actually two-term mayor of Marysville.
oh, okay.
Yes,
That's great.
so
Good
I have
support.
I have
Yeah.
that powerhouse behind me.
What a blessing.
Yes, and I have my field director, Bruce McLean, who is a longtime fighter for universal health care here in the
Mhm.
district, and he's based in Chico.
Mhm.
And then we have supporters up in Siskiyou County. So we pretty much have the whole district covered.
District 1.
Yes, District 1.
Yes. From the Oregon border down to Yuba City, is it?
Yes.
Yes. So, okay, listeners, you know where you are. You know who to vote for.
Rose Penelope Yee for Congress.
Yes.
Yes. So, Eddie, do you want me to talk a little bit about myself, my
Please
history,
do.
why I'm running?
Yes.
Okay, well, I am a finance businesswoman. I own my own firm, and we specialize in 401ks that are focused on socially and environmentally responsible investing. Part of my background, my undergrad is I'm a civil engineer. I also have a master's in business. But more important, I moved to Reading in 2014. So I've been a Reading resident for 10 years. And I am an immigrant from the Philippines. So, as you can tell from my accent and the way I look, I am indeed an immigrant. And the United States is
Mhm.
my adopted country.
Yes.
And I was just asked that question, Eddie, yesterday about why are immigrants valuable?
Oh, good question.
What makes us um, uh, an asset to this country, right?
Mhm.
And I say that for immigrants, we are not born in this country, but it's our adopted country. So it's by choice that we are here,
Mhm.
and we love it just as much as the people who were born here.
Mhm. By
And
choice. Yes.
and I kind of like compare it to how adopted parents feel about their adopted kids, right? They're not their own biological kids, but they love those kids just the same.
Oh, yes.
And
Very,
and so
very good.
So for us immigrants, we might not have been born here, but we love our country just as much as those who were born here. We have just as much stake in
Yes.
the future of this country, and we're working very hard to make sure that that future is there, not just for us who are already here, but for our children and our grandchildren.
Mhm. And I like to say immigrants bring so much diversity of thoughts and um, social um, social getting together, belonging to this country. Just bring, and very important to be included in this country. So that's the words I'm thinking of: diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Thank you.
Yes,
Indeed, it's being inclusive of
yes,
all who come here, of all of us who are hardworking citizens, of all of us
yes,
who love this country and who know that we have a stake in making sure that this country is the best that it could possibly be. And so Eddie, my
yes.
campaign is based on three principles, and those principles are freedom,
Freedom,
justice,
justice.
and opportunity.
Oh, yes.
So when we
Freedom,
talk
justice.
about those, my priorities then are based on those principles.
Mhm,
So one of my top priorities, for example, is Medicare for all. I
mhm.
believe that as citizens of the United States, we deserve what Denmark gives its citizens, what Sweden gives its citizens.
Oh, very
They
good
have
example.
universal single-payer healthcare
Yes,
system where their citizens and the people, the Danish people, Swedish people, they don't have to worry about getting sick. They don't
yes,
have to worry about getting bankrupt when they're sick. They don't have to worry about finding doctors when they're sick. And
yes.
so those should also be what we should enjoy as Americans. So that is one thing that I am going to be advocating for and pushing for. Another priority of mine is that we need to increase our investment in our youth.
Oh,
And
yes.
and so part of Congress is really making sure that the resources of our country are allocated properly. And I feel that we need to invest in our kids. We need to increase federal funding for rural schools.
Mhm,
We need to make sure that our kids are youth who are qualified, who are talented, and who have the intelligence to go to college, could go to college without them and their parents having to worry
mhm.
about how they're going to pay for it. And for those who are technically inclined, we need to expand our technical and trade programs, expand apprenticeship programs, and create that pathway to success for all of our young people. So I also advocate and will push for a federal jobs guarantee.
The 10 counties that are in District 1, are they considered to be rural counties?
We are as a whole the
Yeah,
district is considered rural, but we
yeah.
have like cities within. We have two prominent cities that are kind of more urban, so
Mhm.
that's Chico and Redding where we are.
Oh, really?
And
Are they considered to be
kind of
urban?
because we have two hospitals here. we
Oh,
we,
yes.
we do have a good number of people
Oh,
here,
yeah,
so
I
we
see.
are. But then if you uh, as soon as you move out, as soon as you move out of Reading city
Yes,
center, it's
yes.
pretty rural.
Yes, it is. And Shasta County is very big,
Yes,
bigger
yes.
than most counties. I mean,
Ye-
when you think about traveling up north and all the way up to Lakehead, I guess, is
mhm.
that the dividing line, and all the way down to, say,
Between us and Siskiyou,
yeah,
uh, you know what? Probably,
yeah.
probably. The thing is, you don't even have to go that far because we're not,
Mhm,
we're where I live. It was such a surprise to me when we moved in 2014. Where we live, we're not in the city center, but then we didn't have cable, so we don't have cable where we live. We had to have line of sight internet, and so when we hear talk about the lack of bandwidth in America, we're
mhm,
living it. I'm living it. And so
mhm.
especially during the COVID pandemic, we know how important, how crucial access to the internet is, especially for
Yes.
the kids when there were school closures, right? And for working people who could work remotely. So I live that. I totally understand the need to invest in our rural communities because of
Rural,
that. Yes.
rural youth.
Yeah.
And I also think about, us being considered rural, but we have three colleges, two Shasta and Simpson, and then starts with an N. Jesus, just slipped my mind. Yeah, I guess it's an online college. What's the name of it? Starts with N.
Simpson.
Simpson. You got Simpson, Shasta, and National.
Mm.
Is National still located here, but it's more like online?
Not too familiar with it,
Well,
Eddie.
two
Sorry.
is doing pretty good to be in the community, other than one big one down in
Yeah.
Chico.
Yeah.
I think that's the only other place there is a college,
Yeah.
university.
Right. And but the part of the priorities that I have in terms of our students
Hmm.
is that right now it's so expensive to go to college, right?
Hmm.
And our young people and their parents who help them out have to go in debt for that. And I
Yes.
don't think that's right when we are such a rich country. When we compare ourselves, we need to compare ourselves to countries that are kind of the same in terms of an economic scale, or maybe even not. Like again, let me compare us to Denmark. In Denmark, if you get accepted to college, not only is it free, you get an allowance, a living allowance to help you with your living expenses while
Oh
you're
yes,
studying. So,
man.
so think about the difference for a student here in the U.S. versus a student there. The student here has to worry not just with paying for it,
Yeah.
but also paying for the living expenses, because that's another thing, Eddie, is that housing is a problem, and it's not just
Oh
housing
my.
for families, but
Yes.
housing for students.
Yeah, I've definitely, been connected with Shasta College. People don't realize that some of those students are living in their cars. And
Oh,
this is just a 2 year college.
yes.
Yeah, and the students don't let them know that they're living in their cars.
Yeah.
But also changing the mindset of families about their students going to college, maybe leaving their 2 year college and going away to college, because some families don't want their kids to leave
Mm-hmm.
because they know how expensive it's going to be, and they know that their students are a value to the community, to the community and home, and the family structure, and they just don't want them to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they have to change the vision that after 4 maybe 5 years that it's going to be productive and coming back.
Mm-hmm.
They're having jobs to come back to.
Yes.
Yes, that's another issue.
Yes, and that is why I believe we need to look at a federal jobs guarantee.
Yeah.
When we have our young people graduate from college, graduate from apprenticeship programs
Mhm.
in trade schools, there needs to be a pathway for them to be able to earn enough so that they can start to save, they can start
Mhm.
to have a good living, they can start to have they can if they want to, if they're inclined, start families. Our birth rate is
Mhm.
going down here in the United States, and and uh, and really it is creating that middle class that
Yes.
that has been kind of
Mhm.
decimated in the past decades, right? Our middle class has shrunk, and so we need to expand that middle class, and I believe that a federal jobs guarantee is the one way of doing that.
Yeah, I think about our present candidate for president has said in her ads having to only work one job.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, because that is as human beings,
Mhm.
we have a lot of demands that we have to juggle, right?
Yes.
Our life is composed of a lot of I would say responsibilities as well as leisure activities,
Mhm.
and for us to have a really good life, we need to balance it so that we work for one job, we work like a full 8 hour, 5 day a week job. And then
Yes.
we have time for our families, we
Yeah.
have time for ourselves.
Yes.
And that in turn creates like well-being amongst
Well-being.
not just the person but among their family, and that family as a member of the community creates that community of care, of well-being, a thriving community which we want to have.
Like you say, healthcare. Yeah.
Yes.
You know, as we're starting to wrap up, let's talk about fundraising and some of your maybe dates that you have set up for fundraising events or future
Yes.
fundraising events.
Yes.
Let's
So
talk about what you really need is some money.
that is true. Thank you, Eddie. uh,
This is
th-
a tough fight.
it,
We know it.
it is
We
tough,
need support,
and I do need support. I do need donations.
donations.
I do need people to host parties. So
Yes.
for people to donate, it's very easy.
Mhm.
You can go to my website. It's www.roseforcongress.com. So that's ROSEFOR congress.com.
Okay.
So
The
there's
word, not the letter, not
the
the number.
word. Yes.
The word, not the number.
Yes.
Sometimes get confused. Rose for FOR Congress dot com.
Thank you,
com.
Eddie. Yes.
Yes.
And so
Rose for
there's a
Congress.
donate button there where
Yeah.
you can donate online with your card, or
Mhm.
you can send a check and the address is there. We are also looking for volunteers. So
Mhm.
volunteers could be, not just be people in our district, but people outside our district, because we have phone banking opportunities,
Oh,
texting
yeah.
opportunities, and we even have, Eddie, we're going to start next Monday with a virtual house party, fundraising house party.
Oh,
So
that's creative.
and so you don't have to
Virtual
be in the
house
district.
party.
It's a friend of mine
Yes.
in Oakland, California,
Oh, that's
where
very
I moved
nice.
from. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so she's hosting a virtual fundraising party for me. So what that means is you invite your friends, and then we set
Yeah.
up a Zoom, and I'll be there, talk about what we just talked about, plus more besides, because there's so many things to talk about, and
Yeah.
I'm happy to share and also
Yes.
to learn and engage, because Congress is an all-encompassing job. It's very broad. It touches
Oh, yeah.
all of the lives.
Very nice.
Yeah, the policies touches all of our lives, and so it's really impossible for one person to really know everything. I and I mean, in general, nobody knows everything,
Yeah.
anyways. But what I want to do is I want to listen. I want to listen to people in our district. And so we also have our listening lunches every Wednesday, but it's in the morning.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
no, actually, sorry, it's not in the morning, it's lunchtime. So that's why it's called listening lunches, 12 to 1. We're going to start again next Wednesday, and we'll talk about Project 2025.
Mhm.
Each of the listening lunches has a theme
Oh,
where
private.
people can hear me and I can hear them. So it's two-way, and that's what I want to build in this campaign, Eddie.
Mhm.
It's this engagement with the community where it's not just me, but it's them. So I, as a congressperson, the job is to represent the people. And how can you best represent the people? By listening to them,
Listen.
by talking with
Yes.
them. And so that is part of what I'm doing.
Feel let the people feel like they have bought into the
Yes.
campaign. Also, increase.
Podcast Talk Show.
You just need to bring me back, Eddie.
Oh, we're back. Oh, okay, we're
Okay,
back.
we're back. Okay,
Okay,
there
but
you
we're not
go.
for long. I was
Okay,
gonna
so we
say,
need to wrap it up.
yeah, we
Okay.
need to wrap it up. I'm saying definitely, increasing the participation from our
Yes.
youth.
Yes.
That's the 18 to
18 to
older,
30,
18,
yeah, to 35,
18
I
to
think, is
35.
the, yeah.
Yeah.
The Gen Z. Yes,
Oh, the
I
Gen
would
Z.
I would love for them to volunteer to help
Mhm.
canvas, but most of all, just check out the website, roseforcongress.com.
There you go.
Please help us donate, volunteer,
roseforcongress.com.
host a house party, and we'll have fun together.
Yes. I know you being from the Philippines. There also was already a Philippine ethnic celebration. That in May, or is it coming up?
The one here in Reading,
Bayanihan.
Bayanihan.
Yeah.
It's coming up in
Oh.
it's coming up this August.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I will miss it because I'm going to be in Chicago. I'm also a DNC convention delegate. So that
Chicago.
yeah, so the Democratic National Convention
Yes,
is happening.
in
So
Chicago.
I am flying on the August the 18th. So I will miss it,
So
unfortunately.
you have someone there at the Bayanihan probably to represent you.
I will
I
have
met your
somebody
one of your
represent me.
campaign managers at the Project 2025. I
Yes,
forgot his name. Tall guy.
Bruce.
Bruce, is it
Yes,
Bruce?
yes,
Yeah.
you met Bruce. Yes,
Yeah, he was working. He was working your name there in the back of the
good.
room. Yeah, I got
That's
some
what he
stuff.
should do, Eddie.
Yeah, yeah, certainly. So even though you're not here, you do have the volunteers that are working that believe in you.
Yes,
Yes.
they've been a blessing, Eddie.
Yeah, that is great, Rose.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, I often say, your campaign is very courageous, very tough. To me, it's like you're running against Trump. Because that good old boy, what's his name? Not gonna say his name, but we know who you're running against.
Oh, that's okay. We can
He's
say
a
his
tough
name.
name.
It's La Malfa. I'm not
The
afraid. Yeah.
Malfa. Pack your stuff, man.
Yeah, well, he's been there in that position for 5 terms. I
5 terms.
Yes, yeah.
That's a
So that's
long
10
time.
years. It's a long time, and I think it's time for our district to have a
Oh, it's
change.
time for a
Yeah,
change.
it's time for a
Change is
change.
good.
Yes,
Yes, yes. We see it's happening right now with our vice president, now
yes.
president, and now Governor
Walls.
Waltz. Yeah. Oh
Yes,
man, talking about excitement.
yes.
Change is good. Excitement is good.
Yes, and
Yes.
they're fighting, and we're fighting because District One is worthy of a fight, and
Oh, that's
yes,
great. Is worthy
of
of
a
a fight.
fight. Yes,
Yeah, so we got to get excited about vote
mm-hmm.
for Rose Yee at
For Congress.com.
roseforcongress.com. Is there anything else that you want to say as we wrap up?
Well, thank you so much, Eddie, Myra, all of you who are listening. I welcome you to the team, to the fight. Please join us, donate, and volunteer. roseforcongress.com. It's an uphill fight, but we're determined, we're resolute. We know, as I just said, District 1 is worth fighting for.
Was fighting for.
Yes.
We got to mention one other person who is a fighter, and that's Kathy Darling Allen.
Yes.
She is part of your campaign. Oh man.
Regrettably, Eddie, she had to step away.
Step away.
Yesterday, she has a new contract with it's a group that I believe it's in another county, but it's a job for her, and as part of the requirements for that job, she cannot be involved in a campaign, and so with a heavy heart, we accepted her resignation from the campaign. But she was such a big supporter.
Yes.
Um, uh, and I admire her so much.
Yes.
And she's amazing. She's a person who has grit, who has courage,
Yes.
who has stood up for what is right, and she's a role model that
Yes.
our young people can look up to. Everyone in our district can look up to.
Yeah, we were blessed to have her. Maybe it was last week.
Yeah, it was last week.
This
Yes.
show. So yeah, we were. Oh my goodness, I feel so blessed to have her.
Yeah.
More people to know about her story, and they certainly can look on TV First Star and the recorded
Yes.
podcast a little bit more about Kathy
Yeah.
Darling Allen and who she was and her fight and everything.
Yeah, and she got recognized. Do you know, Eddie? She got recognized by the American Bar Association
Yes.
as one of the unsung heroes.
Yes.
Yeah, very rightly so.
I
Very
have to-
well deserved.
I have to say, me and her have a connection because I was recognized also by the National Education Association to blow my own horn.
Yes,
The Dr. Martin
congratulations.
Luther King Memorial
Oh.
Award for civil
Civil
rights
rights.
and human rights. So me and Kathy, we gotta still hang out, although she's got another job to do.
Yeah,
Okay,
congratulations,
Rose.
Eddie.
Yes, well, thank you for being with us. Glad that we got to to talk with you for a while, and folks on TV First Star, we appreciate you being with us. And that's it for now. Thank you very much.
Podcast Talk Show.